I think I'll start this off by pissing everybody off and say Brian Laundrie didn't kill Gabby Petito. No, those cops did. Those cops did by not doing their job and enforcing the law. Yeah, we got signs of domestic abuse. Someone should go to jail. Oh, no, we don't want to give these people a record. When do they ever say that? I've never heard a cop say that. I've never heard a cop start talking to me saying his wife had anxiety and his wife goes through the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people's wives go through the same thing, and I know what the outcome is. Either they live in misery, they have a heart attack, or, a stroke because of stress, or they off themselves and their family. Because of the simple fact, and I've seen it, there are some crazy girls out here in this world. There are. Brian Laundrie trying to keep his cool. Maybe he said he was done with it when he got back. We'll really never know. But whatever happened, it led to her, being throttled, they said, and, he choked her. How do we know it wasn't consensual? How do we know it wasn't them making love? How do we know this girl didn't attack him? Well, after all, there were signs of abuse. We had people calling in saying she's hanging from the vehicle. But no. The cop's priority is to sit there and talk about how his wife has anxiety and his wife, goes through the same thing. No, buddy. You're a police officer. You don't look at this like there's a good guy. There is no good guy out here. There is no good guy. I was trying to do the right thing. I am a pesky citizen. I am either the victim or the villain. So when the cops come out, they're looking at one of two things. Who committed a crime? What crime did they commit? Can we arrest them for it? And will the prosecutor prosecute them for this crime? They're not looking at it like, gee, my wife has the same anxiety this girl has. They're just a young couple, And that's sad, and we see it time and time again, in case again, where it's just toxic relationships. And, people love toxic relationships. I'm honestly kind of disappointed myself. I never really had or haven't had a relationship in years. Most of the girls look at me like, oh, what's your 401k like? My 401k ain't looking too good at the moment. But, I digress. These crazy girls, man, these girls and their relationships, that goes on for years with toxic relationships. And usually what makes it end is one of them passing away or both of them passing away. And so what? Brian Laundrie did it. He traveled home. Him and his parents went on a little vacation, and then he went and offed himself. Honestly, you got to thank Brian for that. I got to thank that man so much for that. Just for the simple fact, what do you want? You want an autobiography? You want a manifesto? Like this is some type of school shooting or something? No, man, we didn't even get the Columbine tapes. And now, all of a sudden, we get all these videos. But, it don't matter at the end of the day. Crazy people do crazy things. And shit happens. I mean, we'll never know if Gabby attacked him or if he just did it out of spite. But at the end of the day, it's the cops' fault. And the sad thing is you can't sue the cops. And it's sad because, just like they lost a daughter, their parents lost a son. Everyone loses in this case. And even the pesky citizen loses because look at all the taxpayer money that was spent searching for this man. The only thing I say is the parents should have probably told us, I think he was suicidal. He went out there and offed himself. Instead of spending all that time, effort, and money looking around for this guy and publicity. The dog, the bounty hunter out there, he's out here somewhere. Oh, where's Big Boob Beth? Oh, shit. Life sucks getting older, don't it? It definitely does. I know that for a fact. Getting old ain't no fun. Choices. It's all about choices. Some of us make the right ones. Some of us make the wrong ones. And, I really don't know what to say. But I keep coming back to this case, and I keep thinking about it. And it's the cop's fault. It's the cop's fault. The cops should have arrested her then and there. If they arrest somebody for domestic abuse, they got to arrest somebody and let the prosecutor see and figure out if it's worth prosecuting. And either one of two things will happen. They can either take it to trial and get 6 or 12 people to convict on it, or they'll get you to be scared and take a plea deal, which is basically, it's scare tactics. You have a right to a trial unless you're scared that the government, like Hannah Gutierrez Reed got some gun expert up there, God. These are the people. This is the system. You know, that's even a different video. Hannah Gutierrez. If you trained me to look at a bullet and say the primer's popped, you know, some BBs shake, some don't, some have holes, but if the primer's popped because you're making your own dummy rounds, that it's a dummy round, but it turned out to be a dud round, that the primer was struck and it didn't go off, and it got mixed in with these rounds, and it just happened to be hit again and went off. And, you know, if you're trained a certain way and you follow your training and you mess up as a civilian, you go to jail for negligence. If you follow your training as a police officer and it mess up, they just say you need more training. Limited immunity. But I digress. Y'all try to have a good night out here. Hopefully y'all got something from this, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody. It was not my intentions. I just wanted to speak freely from the heart. It's a sad case all the way around. It really is. You know, those cops should have took them to jail that day instead of separating them. Then they go back to, oh, it was Brian. Like, yeah, Brian, you know, Brian did what most of us did, you know. It's not an act of guilt, self-preservation, you know. It ain't even self-preservation. He knew he was done for. He knew he was going to go to jail for a long time. And so you got to think that, man, going off of himself in the woods and saving us the time and money and effort of keeping him alive, keeping him in prison, keeping him medical and all that, feeding him, and yeah, all that would have been on the taxpayer. The court case, the lawyers, the cops, the money, it all been on it. You know, and the civil case with the parents, like, it hurts. It hurts. That's where the parents, you know, I kind of feel, you know, they let them on. Oh, you know, making them think that their daughter was still alive, and I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You know, they were making them think that the daughter was still alive, and she wasn't, and that's you know, effed, for lack of a better term. But, you know, I digress. A lot can be said about it. Hopefully a lot can be learned about it. Because, like I said before, in the eyes of the law, you are only one of two things. You are the victim or the villain. There's no, my wife has anxiety, and I understand we go through this a lot. Yeah, that don't play. Go ask Richard Jewell how that worked for him. And I've said that before, you know. If I can help it, I won't end up like Reginald Denny, but I'll probably end up like Richard Jewell.